Intake manifold removal on this BMW. This is an N47 engine. It's an F10 model, and I'm going to be showing you the step-by-step process on how you remove this part. Okay, so first of all, the engine cover is already removed, as you can see there. That's straightforward. On this model, it goes into 2 intake pipes and then pushes down, clips in underneath these. So that's already removed, nice, straightforward and simple. But what I want to showcase here is we do have some power feeds going to the alternator that we're going to be disconnecting. So before we start anything, we're going to be disconnecting the battery. And on this vehicle, it's in the boot, so I'm going to be taking off the negative terminal and leaving that off for the duration of this job. So this is the terminal I'm going to be removing, held down with a 10mm. Just prop it out of the way. I'm going to be putting a rag underneath it so it can't contact it, and then we can set about starting the rest of the job. Negative battery clamp is now removed, and I've just put a rag on the underside to stop any connection issues there. So now that's fully disconnected and we're safe to continue on with the rest of it. So I'm going to be using a lot of electric tools to help me speed this up, which I won't be showing on camera as I'm using each one. Hand tools can do everything you need to do. You don't need these, but they just speed it up. Extensions, possibly a magnet, E-Torx, 6-point socket standard ones is going to be the majority of what you need. Also some small flat screwdriver for disconnecting some of the electrical connectors, and possibly a small pick as well for coming in. So that's going to be the start of it. I am going to start by taking off these electrical connectors around here and possibly taking off this heat protector cover on this side. If you're interested to know if your manifold is filthy or not, a good way of checking is just looking in here. So this is the manifold absolute pressure sensor. You disconnect that, lift it up, you have a little viewpoint in there to check if yours is quite carboned up, is quite filthy or not. This is sooted up extremely badly, so we're going to be taking this off to clean it. To remove this cover, pull out of the way so this conduit pops out of those clips 1 and 2. Then when you have that moved, you can lift this up and pull it from the back, and then that's out. I'm going to take this cover off as well. And now we have a bit more visibility to what we want to remove. I'm going to be using these magnet trays, this one and this one, to store any parts I disconnect. And I'm just going to start disconnecting some of these. So this is a pull down type of connector, but when I said using a pick, it would be going in here. So you can use a pick like this, go in, pull up on the underside, or flat screwdriver, go down, lift up the tab and pull back. There's going to be a tab on the underside here which secures in on that, and you're going to be doing that potentially a decent amount when you're doing it. You see me disconnect that security tab, push down on that and release. If that doesn't work, which sometimes it might not, you go down, gently lift, this one is stuck in a bit, so we want to go on the inside, feel for that tab, pull down. There we go. That's them 2 out. Same on this one over here. So same on this, pull back, I'm going to slide in there, lift that up and pull back. And all you're doing is just lifting up the screwdriver on it. These type of retaining clips for the loom that slot in, you just want to keep a hand firmly on the back while you pull up using a flat screwdriver, and they have teeth that clip them in. and there's going to be a number of them around. Okay, so we have a lot of them disconnected now. Some of the cabling nice and free. And I'm going to disconnect this part, which is down the alternator now. I'll tell you the size in a second. It is a 13mm. I'll just wind that back down so I don't lose it. And then that cable, you can see, is free. Okay, so I took this back off to make a little bit more room. I popped that little retaining tab for this wire just using my trim tool. 2 flat screwdrivers on either side, and just pull it back. Will also work. Once I had the room out there, I can actually get some better visibility down to this. So this is a push back and pull up clip, but when you have this bracket sitting on the top, to actually get your fingers in is quite difficult, but once you have it out of the way, it's relatively easy. Next, I'm going to go down to the lower side of this cable, disconnect that, and we have the majority of the wiring that we need to remove out of the way. Then another clip over here actually that needs to be taken out, so that's that out of the way. Not too much wiring overall that's holding it in position, which is good. I decided I'm going to take out this air intake pipe as well, just so I can have better access to that clip down there. It was kept in by one 8mm head, which goes through the reservoir, coolant reservoir. Then if you come in where the headlight is, this surround that sits around the securing of the bonnet, flip that up. This intake pipe has one retaining clip, which I use a pick to just pull on the underside. Right in the middle there. What you're doing is just lifting up that section so you can pull out from the clip right there. And now that piece is free to come out, and we have a bit more room, and right in there is the connector we want to remove next. So right there you can see the retaining clip. I have an inspection mirror that's shining on the back of it. And what I've done is, using a small pry bar, come in from this side, in underneath it, and leverage it up. And then that comes up. And you can see the clip that it's holding it now, and we have this free from that, and we can then disconnect this electrical connector, but you can see that hasn't been removed for a long time. And it's all about getting a viewpoint in to where you need to. Sometimes you have to use small inspection mirrors like that, but again, it's taking your time. The main thing is just to take your time and don't break anything. You've got a lot of coolant related components here that if you lean on, put too much pressure, you'll break, and then you'll have a lot more expensive job and possibly out of action of your vehicle for a long time because you'll be waiting for parts. That is now out of position, and I was able to get visibility down to see what was holding it, which is that clip on that side. And again, I'm utilizing a pick. I went in underneath and pulled that back, and now we have disconnected that. So we have the wiring free to come out on that side, and we're on to the next stage of it. I've just used a cable tie to pull some of the wires out of the way and just keep them out of position. I'm now going to focus on removing some components on the front side of the engine. So we have this, which is a T30. Down there looks like a 10 mil and also a 10 mil. So I'm just going to take off this heat cover and make some room to this front section of the manifold. I'm going to take this, which is a small e-torque, which I'll check in a moment. I'll just take this out now. Take this clip out. Push that out of the way. Yep. And I'm gonna take that out now. E6. So an e-torques. E6 to remove there. That lifts out of position. Then I disconnected one of the solenoid valves there, which is right here, and we pretty much have nearly enough room now. I'll probably just disconnect this one as well off that in a second. So you pull that back similar to all the others and press in, then take it out of the way. And then we'll probably start to remove these ones. So I moved that electrical connector. Again, it's pull back, push down, lifts the retainer, and then you pull it out of the way. I also took the one down on the lower side of the motor here. So I took that one off too, just to allow enough room. So I'm going to start taking this front section off now. So E8s, 10 mil head, and T30s, I believe, are the next ones I'm going to remove. So got those few e-torques removed there, and I have that air intake valve now taken out, and I'm doing a full clean on this, so I want to remove these components and make sure that when it all goes back it's as clean as possible. And as you can see, that is filthy. There is a little retainer tab there that you just pull back out of the way, so just pull it back out of position. I was going to take off that intercooler pipe altogether, but I'm going to pop that back on because I don't need to, and that is enough out of the way. I'm now going to move on to this section. Okay, so I have the next section out now of the manifold. So there was 3 of those T30 torques holding it. We have the 2 that was holding it there as well, and an electrical connector as well, just coming over here. So we have that all removed, and you can see it's quite filthy as well. So we have a lot of cleaning to do on this before it all goes back together. And we can start to see the level of soot buildup that's in there. But we're nearly there now. We have the majority of it removed. This was replaced not long ago as a recall, so that's going to be fine. Don't have to worry about that. And we just need to get down onto these ones now and remove them, and the manifold should come out. Alright, last piece of this. I imagine there's 5 10 mils, 3 at the top and 2 on the lower side. You got to make sure that they're backed off all the way to pull back. Then you grab firm on this side and the back side and pull. There will be some tension holding it down. You don't want to break anything, but you if there's, let's say, sticking in on the manifold gasket side of it, it's going to take a little bit of force to separate them. There's a good seal down there, so there it is. That is the manifold now out. So we're going to be doing a little bit of cleaning on this. Any cleaning that you do down here, the valves need to be closed before you do it, or you're going to have issues with falling into each cylinder. But that's that. So if you were just looking for how to remove the intake manifold, you now have the step-by-step procedure. I am going to be doing a video on the cleaning of this as well, but that is everything. You just put it back in the reverse order. Be extremely cautious with all of the plastics and connectors. We've managed to successfully remove all this without breaking anything at all. All the retaining clips are perfect, no issues. So if you pry on the right areas, if you pull on the right areas, you will be good and you shouldn't do any damage. And that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful and informative. If you did, please like, share, comment and subscribe. I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.